Hello, everybody, and welcome back to One Piece Odyssey. I'm your host, MugiwaraJM. Not yet joined by Rich. He is not here yet. So we last left off. We left Water 7 Indius Lobby, and now we have to go find another Colossus. Oh God, this is where I left off last time, man. I could not remember how to get the fuck over here. Oh right, wasn't there like a thing I can grab onto?
それにしてもおめえ怒らせると怖えんだな。
やめとけフランキー、お前も瓶詰めにされちまうぞ。
だからやってないの。
いた、面白ザル。
こいつがリムちゃんの水晶を盗んだっていう猿だな。チョッパー、なんて言ってるのか聞かせてくれ。俺はその後こいつを仕留める。
まだ取ったと決まったわけじゃねえから落ち着けって。
こいつなんか怯えてるな。俺じゃない。リム怖い。瓶も海も怖いってずっとビクビクしながら言ってるぞ。
すっかりトラウマになってるみたいだな。
俺たちリムの水晶玉がどこにあるか探してるんだけど、お前何か知らないか？いさおいさ。
他にも犠牲者がいたのか？そいつも多分トラウマになってるぞ。
私は怒っただけよ。眠ろうとすると急にうるさく騒ぎ出すんだもの。うるさいって言ったら勝手に木の上に逃げていったの。いっさ。またビクビクし始めたぞ。
トラウマが蘇ったんだな。
もう勝手に人を怖がらないで。それでその子だけど今はどこにいるの？ほいさ
ー。そうか、じゃあ次はそこに行ってみるか。
待って、やっぱり何か変よ。なんだかリムが怖いと私たちに思わせようとしてるみたい。
ええ、確かにそうね。
そうか？よくわかんねえな。
Oh, well, I'm up here. I'm gonna get some items.
何かあるわ。
おっとっ
Where does he have to fall down?
そういやサニー号を修理してる時砂浜をちょろちょろしてるやつを見かけたかもな。
よし、じゃあサニーんとこ行くぞ。ほいっと。おっとっと。おっとっと。おっとっと。おっとっと。ほいっと。おっとっと。ほいっと。はっ。
Alright, you really can't fall down from any high heights, huh?
おっとっと。おっとっと。はっ。おっとっと。はっ。
Oh boy. Yeah, but that hurt. Hi Sparkster, welcome to the stream. How you doing? I play this game. I like the idea of a One Piece RPG. Yeah, it's... I'd say it's worth a go if you're interested in One Piece and RPGs. I got my issues with it, but it's by no means a bad game. I played some bad JRPGs in my time. This doesn't come close. It just makes some very bizarre choices.
いやあリム、お前本当に良いさを瓶詰めにしたり木の上に吊るしたりしてねえのか？
だから彼らが私を怖がってるのは本当だけど、私は絶対にそんなひどいことしてないわ。
そうとなるとやっぱり何か裏がありそうね。
あ、船本当に治ってる。
おい、いたぞ。この先だ。
この子かしら。リムに怒られたのを反省して木の上で1週間お昼寝してたっていうお猿さんは。
そんな穏やかなエピソードじゃなかったぞ。
こいつもなんかビクビク震えてるな。もう文句言わない。命ばかりはお助けって言ってるぞ。そんなことしないってば。
あなたがリムの水晶を持ち出したの？
いっさおいさ。いっさ。
The singing made some big waters faint. He laughed for a
また
while.
犠牲者か。
もうそんな話はいいから。その子は今どこにいるの？
Bizarre choices like what? Like making the Alabasta portion way too freaking long?
そいつデルコングの友達。コングの巣に行けば多分いる。だってさ。
デルコング？もしかしてあの波をさらったやつのことか？
Like, did you notice how, like, neatly paced out the Aeneas Lobby chapter was? The Alabasta chapter was not like that at all.
どうしたんだ波？
やっぱりね。ヨイサーたちは私たちをリムから。
Also, the battle fit system feels a bit too slow for me.
どういうことだ？
理由はわからないけど、リムは怖いやつだって思わせたいみたいね。とにかく早く水晶玉を取り戻しましょう。考えるのはそれからよ。
I think the pacing of the story is a little it kind of drags a bit.
うるせえ俺はそんなことしねえいいさ
So we're just on a fetch quest until we can get to the next dungeon.
さっきの話もひょっとして。私は良いさを瓶になんて詰めてない。セイウチが目を回して浮いてきたのは本当だけど。
いやそこは本当なのかよ。こっちでいいんだよな。
おう、洞窟を抜けりゃ大猿の庭だ。
Oh, there he is.
何かあるわね。
Hello. Hello.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can now.
Okay, I have arrived.
All right, you have like missed like almost nothing.
Yeah, sorry about that. I was just running a teeny bit behind.
So was I. I had a late dinner. I really needed I needed a nap after work today. It was the end of a long week, and I wanted to just rest.
Yeah, sadly, I have one more day.
But hey, we have Sunday to look forward to at the end of it.
Yes, yes, we do. We do.
俺の子分だ。
あら、いつの間に？
And we're also more good news. I think we're at the half point of the game if we're not already.
I sure hope so.
We're on chapter 5 out of 9 now. And the departure and Waffer don't last very long.
So I guess we kind of called it where it was like, okay, it kind of picked up a little bit after Alabasta.
Yeah, whoever it was in Maddie's replies, there was a bunch of people that said it actually. It's like, oh no, Alabasta's just weirdly too long.
Okay, so.
And last time on Sunday, I finished the Water 7 portion. It was like around where you probably fell asleep. There really wasn't much left. There was a boss fight and I was done.
Yeah, I was pretty tired. So.
But we have Frankie as a playable character now finally. And I'm being attacked by a penguin.
Who looks like the penguin from The Little Mermaid? The seagull.
Yeah, he does look a little bit like Scuttle.
Yeah.
I'm gonna whoop your ass with a dingle hopper.
Basically.
Oh, that's why his tongue's out. He's dehydrated. It's a dry penguin. Oh, his TP is low. Yeah, beat up the penguin. And just judging from how much left we have of Fire Emblem Engage, we might be done that like in a week or two.
Since we seem to be going through that so quickly.
Yeah. Oh, speaking of that, you didn't miss much there either. We got Roy and Micaiah back, and then that really... You picked good ones to call it a night early on.
Yeah, and again, just in case, if I call it a night early again, I'm just forewarning ahead of time.
I think for this game you'll be okay, because like I firmly believe this stream is gonna be spent on doing the next Colossus, and then Oh, the Paramount War is the next one we have to revisit. Which was the last major arc before the time skip.
Which one?
The Paramount War.
Oh.
That was where
Ace
Luffy.
died.
Yeah, and Luffy went up. Luffy and the Whitebeard pirates went up against the entire world government. And the last Memorial World is gonna be Dressrosa. And Doflamingo will be the final boss of that for sure. I'm wondering if they did a sequel to this and they improved on it, I would like them to do a memorial chapter on like Wano or something. And then we could fight Kaido. But Wano was not done yet when they were developing this, so that's probably why they didn't include it. They did say they were developing this for several years.
So that could entail possible DLC.
Well, I wonder if they have DLC planned for this or not. I figured a good place to announce that would have been like the state of play today, but we got a Naruto announcement instead.
Wait, what? Wait, what now?
There was a PlayStation state of play today, but I didn't stream it because I was it started right as soon as I clocked out of work, so I just watched it.
What was the announcement?
If I have this right, and feel free to correct me in the the comments if I'm wrong, guys. I think they're taking all the Naruto Cross Boruto games that came out in the last decade or so, and mishmashing them into one big mega game.
Oh, so they're okay, I know what they're doing. They're essentially going the route of the earlier Naruto games back on the PS2.
No, not those ones.
No?
The more recent ones, the Naruto Cross Boruto ones.
Oh.
Yeah, they're taking those ones from the last generation of consoles and mashing them together, I think, into one big game.
Okay, so essentially, it kind of I think didn't they try that with Naruto Ultimate Ninja Storm though?
Yeah, they did a collection of those too.
Right, so they're basically going to do the same thing.
But with the more recent ones that came out.
Yeah, the Naruto Boruto crossover ones.
Yeah, the one that got DLC even 8 years after it came out. It was
so in a way, now you just said that, if that Naruto got DLC 8 years after, who's to say that One Piece might not get it? Might get it?
I would like that, but they never do it that long.
No, I'm saying a year, like a year or so, or whatever.
Yeah, I guess it all depends on how well this one sells, or if they had it planned already.
True.
I did notice that they put the pre-order bonus only content as purchasable now, so I can get the Straw Hats pre-time skip outfits, but I think one, I'm really trying to save my money right now, and number two, I would have liked to have worn them in the Memoria chapters where we were in the pre-time skip era, and our next one is the last one, so I don't see really much of a point. If I'm gonna buy some DLC, I was thinking either getting the DLC for Like a Dragon before me and Austin finish that off, or get the DLC for Engage.
Yeah.
Oh, that Yoisa looks like he did it. So basically, Lim's crystal was stolen, and we're trying to find out who stole it. And I don't know. I'm looking at this guy. I think he did it.
You don't say.
The boss of gold. How? Lim's pouty face is great.
Hey, look, it's Christine.
Yeah, actually.
Now you cannot see it, can you?
Yeah. If she ever wanted to cosplay a One Piece character, Lim is right there, honey. And if you wanted to go on a budget, just get a white hoodie from Walmart, and then get an empty water jug, and there you go. Budget cosplay Lim from One Piece Odyssey. I would love the cosplay character for One Piece, but I don't know who I would. What the fuck? Oh, why is your voice deeper? I don't like that.
こりゃまたでっけえのが来たな。こいつがボスか？
水晶玉は渡さない。おとなしく帰れって言ってるぞ。
Thank goodness we have you, Chopper. We'd never understand what the hell they're saying.
間違いなさそうだな。こいつがリブの瓶から水晶玉を盗ませた犯人だ。
You know what it probably is? It's probably like all the Yoisas and whatever are all voiced by this guy, but they heighten it. This guy, they didn't bother changing it.
おいお前、リムの玉はどこにあるんだ。返す。
Oh, I see what Luffy tried to do there. He tried to probably use the Conqueror's Hockey to try to see if he can knock him out, but apparently, no, it's not going to work on him.
いるんだぞ。でもダメだ。どうしても渡せない。リムと海賊を一緒にメモリアには行かせないって。
どういうことだ？あの水晶玉がメモリアへ行く鍵なのか？
そう。確かにメモリアに行くにはあの許しの水晶玉が必要なの。でもドエイサーが相手なんて危険すぎる。みんなすぐ逃げて。水晶玉はもういいから。
でもあれがないとメモリアに行けねえんなら俺たちも困るぞ。
他の方法を考えるから。
あの玉はお前の大事なもんなんだろ。だったら簡単に諦めるなよ。
ちょっと待ってなリムちゃん、すぐに終わらせる。
どのくらい力が戻ってるか試したかったところだ。練習台にはちょうどいい。
みんな
お前の宝物は俺たちが取り戻す。
I don't like him. Stop showing him to me.
俺が
There's someone posted in a Facebook group called DIY on a Budget.
Hmm.
Someone posted, my front entrance is quite dark. What can I do to lighten it up and make it look more inviting? And someone really replied with, shit. Like, really?
Alright, he's a power, so I need a... Oh, you know what? Frankie's my new speed type, so... No? Oh, it's technique, I think. Yeah, it's technique, my bad. So, grab his nuts!
Homer says, increase your wordiness, satiety, popping fullness. Triumvirate, three guys giving orders. Gourmand, like a gourmet, only fatter. I don't know what that... Yeah, and it says, I don't know. And boudoir, where a French guy does it.
Did you see that one I shared with you earlier today? Like,
yes.
the graphic design is my passion looking one. The one where it's like inhale, exhale is written wrong.
Yeah, and I have the Table Cat meme where they're screaming, it's inhale, exhale, and Table Cat's like, in exhale, lele.
Just remember, in exhale, ha ha lele. Wait, they made the nipple light special attack? Okay, it's like a blinding hallucination move.
Still good, though.
Yeah, Frankie put flashlights in his nipples. Alright, I better heal you.
これいただくわ。
俺様の技術力味わわせてやる。
Frankie Cannon. Iron Boxing. It's basically the Aura.
フランキーアイアンボクシング。
Hey, he fainted.
がいっぱいだ。
Oh, he's confused. Oh, that's right. I can use Ashura now. That was a move he learned in his lobby, so now I have it since I'm done with there. Yeah, no, I think I'm gonna heal everybody up a little bit.
Boy, this one is a ride. So, someone tweeted, Plankton built his computer wife, so he's also the one who programmed her personality.
Correct.
Plankton made a wife who would belittle and mock him. Plankton has a humiliation kink.
Yeah, he most certainly does.
And someone replied, you know, sometimes we have thoughts, but we don't have to share them with everyone and put them out into the world. Just a suggestion. So it's like, yeah, you know, that makes sense, but like, I really didn't need to think to that level tonight.
Someone's gonna point it out eventually. I'm surprised I'm surprised it took y'all this long.
Oh, I know. It's just like, I feel like I didn't, like, it's like, okay, it's like one of those thoughts that you may have. It's like, just hearing it out loud, it's like, okay, someone had the same thought I did. You just had the courage and audacity to say it out loud.
Wow, the guy was not kidding. The guide said, you have to work your ass off to fail this fight.
That was easy.
Yeah, the guide said, you have to work your ass off to lose this.
Okay, I just got it. It's like you have to try really hard to fail this.
Mm-hmm. Like there needs to be a concerted effort to be bad at this.
ありがとう。でもどうしてこんなことをしてもあなたたちの力は戻らないわ。
I know we still have to go after a Colossus. I named a stream after like that. The next one we're going after.
海賊のあなたたちから力を奪った。そのせいでしなくてもいい苦労をすることになったのよ。なのにどうして私のためによくしてくれるの？私にはわからない。
そんなの決まってんだろ。困ってる友達を助けるのは当たり前だ。
友達。
そろそろ戻って次の準備でもしましょうか。
それもいいが腹減ったな。こんな大物を相手にするとは思わなかったしよ。
サンジ、飯！
すぐに作ってやると言いたいところだが、食材を調達してからじゃねえとな。よし
よしじゃねえよ。何食わせる気だ。
Oh, that was great. It's like, I need to find some ingredients. He turns to it. It's like, I found what I needed. And Usopp's like, no, we are not eating this big bitch. To be fair, though, that is not out of character for them. Usually the giant monsters that attack the ship, they beat the shit out of them, kill them, and eat them.
私が本当に友達だったらあんなひどいことしないわ。
どうやらリムは怖がられているけど嫌われているわけじゃなさそうね。
そうだな。ナミさんの言う通り、嫌われていたのはむしろ俺たちだ。
え、そうなのか？
海賊と行動を共にするリムが心配で、彼らはリムから水晶玉を取り上げた。あの水晶こそが不思議空間やメモリアに行く鍵だったから。
なるほどな。鍵を奪っちまえば俺たちとメモリアに行けないようになるから。
俺たち海賊からリムを遠ざけたかったってわけだ。
リムが怖いと私たちに思い込ませようとしていたのもきっとそのためね。
根はいいやつらってことか。
Return to Audio's house. Return to Audio's house. You didn't really have to write that twice, guys.
リムの水晶玉も無事に取り戻せたことだし。
Sign at Outback Steakhouse. Fish of the day. Beef.
I always think back to my Outback Steakhouse story.
Oh. Wait, did I hear this story?
Yes, you have.
Yes, oh, of course, that story. Okay, yeah. Was that, that was New Year's, wasn't it?
New Year's 2020.
Yeah, yep, yeah.
If anybody here in chat wants to hear it and hasn't seen our SBR episodes where I told it, I'm willing to tell it again.
That was a good time.
Yeah, and I immortalized it in the best of 2021 when I first told it to Austin during the Deadly Premonition playthrough. But if anybody here is just here for my streams that wants to hear it, I'm willing to share again. I love that story. I started sharing it with my current coworkers because they were not my current coworkers when that happened, and they couldn't believe it. They're like, "Wait, the one next door?" I said, "Yes, that one."
Fucking legendary.
Yeah, it was the most Philadelphian story I ever heard in my life.
Oh my god, that is not just the most Philadelphian, but the most northeast stereotypical lifestyle of how we are here in the Northeast.
You know, I'll tell you what. I'll tell you guys it again, but let's get to that dungeon first, because I know as soon as we get to Audio's house, it's gonna be cutscene city.
So, here's a sign for you. Notice, this is the back door. The front door is around the back.
And it's the stonks guy, Longic.
It's like, wait a minute, this is the back door. The front door is around back.
That's like having a push door and it says pull.
Or that sounds like something the late great Mitch Hedberg would say. Man, no, the sign said, notice, this is the back door. The front door is around the back. Because I think Mitch Hedberg's Deliverance would have sold that.
Mm-hmm. Gotta miss him.
Me too. So you know my favorite scene in The Simpsons?
No, but I'm curious now.
Well, okay. Scene that's referenced as a meme that I just fucking lose my shit over. Like, just take a guess.
That's like 33 seasons to guess from.
Okay, you know there's one that I love to always reference a lot.
Oh, man. It's gonna hit me like a truck when I remember.
Come on, John. You know me well enough to know what my utmost favorite skit in The Simpsons is.
The steamed hams one?
Yes.
Oh yeah, well everybody loves the steamed hams one.
So, someone redid it. Redid it with Homer Simpson and Willie the groundskeeper.
Mm-hmm.
So it starts. So I'm gonna read it to you because it's screen by screen.
Okay.
So in Willie's voice, well, I'm this house, but this is seniors. Yes. Your molecules. Where'd the phone? Oh crap! Now Willie's gonna kick my ass. Unless. And it shows the Krusty Burger. What what's with that smoke? That's not smoke. It's steamed. I'm making steamed haggis. Alright then, I'm gonna put the fare and I'm starving. What do you do, you blue sweating pillow walker? I mean, hey Willie, I was just stretching my legs so I don't pull a muscle while making the food. Here we are. Grilled haggis. Alright, what are you playing? You said steamed haggis. Sorry, I meant grilled. Oi, this is steamed haggis too hamburger. Well, that's what I call a hamburger, grilled haggis. It's North Kilt Town expression. I'm from North Kilt Town. Now, have you ever heard that phrase? South Kilt Town. Alright then. Sucker. And hey, what you got in there? The Loch Ness Monster? What's Nessie doing in the scullery? Making dessert. So you're telling me that the Loch Ness Monster get on a plane in Bonnie, Scotland, flew the way to Springfield, made her way through customs, rented a motor, and drove us just to make us dessert? Yes. What kind of dessert? Shrugs. Say hi to her yourself. I believe she has broken through the roof. Well, Simpson, say hi to Nessie for me. Or I read that backwards. See you later, Nessie. But yeah, I found that entertaining.
Yeah, I got to hear your Scottish accent again. And Austin still says that the Scottish bit from Red Dead 2 is one of his favorites of ours that we've ever done.
Well then, if I don't remember, but you do, maybe remind me on Sunday to reread it again.
Oh boy. Because
if he really likes it, I will whip it out again. And I said that in the way of using my voice.
Mm-hmm.
Get your minds out of the gutter.
That would imply it's ever been out of there in the first place. I'll tell the backstory when we get to the Water Colossus ruins. Not with the guy we just recruited. You will not need a day. You will need 10 minutes. Yeah, he can canonically just build a makeshift bridge in a matter of minutes. Obtain materials to build a bridge.
So do we have time for one more thing before that ruins?
We'll see. Again, this is my first playthrough of this game.
So anywho, someone made a comic. Implementing they infused Sonic into the world of Pokemon, specifically Scarlet and Violet.
Oh boy.
So I'll read it out. The first panel. Man, where are those guys? I've walked around this region 3 times now. This is Sonic trying to find Luigi, Daisy, Sora, Kirby, Duck, and Dog in Paldea after the portal accidentally closed. Wow, it's really getting really quickly around here. It's that gigantic crab titan.
もうできちまった
And
の
then
か
a land pool whips it, knocks it out. And Sonic's like, "Thank you, Mushroom Man." And someone throws a quick ball at Sonic, and here it's Arvin. He's like, "Hey, do I mind? Why don't you get in the ball like proper Pokemon?" Because I'm not a Pokemon, you idiot. Why do you look like one then? I don't know. Why do you look like a squirrel died on your head? Hey, screw you, you blue weirdo. You should work on that spicy temperament of yours. Well, I happen to like spicy food, so the joke's on you. And Arvin's like, "You like spicy?" And Sonic goes, yes, like chili dogs and stuff." "Chili dogs? What are those?" "You don't know chili dogs?" "A hot dog sandwiches topped with the meat sauce and various other toppings." And Arvin's like, "Did you say sandwich?" And here it cuts to them like, I'll post it in the Discord too. Arvin's like, "How about some jalapenos?" "Oh, I like your thinking. Let's try it." "Oh, also let's try some whole grain bread for the next one." And they're having the sandwich making moment after you defeat a Titan. So I'll post it in the chat.
Is this by Wooden Plank?
What?
Is this by Wooden Plank?
Wooden
Plank Studios? Because they've been making a long-standing like
Yes.
Smash Brothers. Yeah, of
Yes.
course. They've been making a long-standing Smash Brothers Universe comic, and it's really entertaining every time I see their work. Like
I guess
they're
it's from that. So
yeah, they had this one arc where Sephiroth put everybody to sleep, and it was like up to Incineroar, a shirtless Sephiroth, and Kazuya from Tekken to get everybody back.
oh.
It was really weird, but it was very entertaining, and the art's really nice. They were also the one that did that Engage one where all the Fire Emblem characters were like having coffee and stuff, and they kept disappearing.
Yes, and they were all disappearing.
Yeah, because Alir was summoning them.
Yeah. Or Alir.
Yeah,
and
Alir's their real name. Tebepis is our stupid curse name for our playthrough.
So essentially, it's like, yeah, and there's Punch Out Man standing there going, "Can you not like doing that? It's scaring our dog."
Yeah, Little Mac and the Duck Hunt dog, I think. Is that it right there? It's a water colossus, but I see a snowflake.
アディオこの移行
Steadily, if the Colossus was a snowflake.
俺が調べたところじゃ氷海の遺構って名前だ
My research tells me they're called the Ice Block Ruins. Well, my eyes tell me it's a waterfall ruin.
氷海氷なんてどこにも見当たらねえが確かにな俺も中を探索するのは初めてだから驚いて
Oh my god, don't tell me we're having another water temple.
それにしてもすげえだ
Oh no.
あれは何なんだ
結界かしら。滝の裏側に何かあるのかもしれないわね。
If only Austin were here, I'd go, ba-dum, 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 ba.
それなら切って確かめるか
Actually, I wonder what he hated more, the Great Bay Temple or the Stone Tower one.
切るってあの滝をかそいつは楽しみだ
I think the Stone Temple one.
Yeah, because we were on that for so long, and I don't know that one as well as the others.
And the fact that I hit him with the utmost pun where he's like, "My nipples are burning."
No, that was the Stone Tower. Like that was like right before it. That is my favorite moment from last year for sure.
Yeah, that's what I thought you were saying, like the one
Yeah.
that hit him with the Stone Tower Temple.
Well, there's Stone Tower, and then there's Stone Tower Temple. Stone Tower was when you were climbing all those blocks to get there, and then Stone Tower Temple is the temple after it.
Where the Nancy Reagan story came in.
The Nancy Reagan story was Snowhead.
Oh, Snowhead.
Oh, god damn it, the Nancy Reagan joke was in a temple with head in the name! I just noticed that now!
Wait, when now? Wait, what now?
It just dawned to me, the Nancy Reagan story in Majora's Mask was in a temple with the word head in the name.
何これ冗談でしょ
Oh my god.
アディオお前の能力でなんとかなんねえか
Oh my god.
an entire year after we recorded that playthrough later, it just dawned on me.
That just hit me like a freight train.
まあ滝の裏に何があるのかはわからないけど、とりあえず他の場所を探索してみましょうか。よし。
Well, she's dead, so she ain't giving Snowhead anymore.
Oh dear God.
Yeah. The goal tonight, get this dungeon done, get to the Paramount War.
That awkward moment when a zombie looking for brains walks right past you.
Yeah, didn't The Simpsons like popularize that bit?
I think so.
That's the earliest uses I could think of it, because there was a Treehouse of Horror episode where they unleashed the dead, and zombies invaded the Simpsons house, and as soon as they went up to Homer, they like grabbed him for a bit, and then they walked on.
I don't necessarily remember, but I might have been.
And you gotta remember, like that's like old Simpsons, like that was like from like the early seasons.
I remember because me and Rob have been going through the early seasons of The Simpsons. We're on season 10 now.
Oh, you guys are way ahead of where I stopped.
And we, on Halloween this past year, we watched the Tree Houses of Horror.
Yeah, I do that every year now.
So we started with the early Treehouse of Horror episodes.
Yeah.
And yeah, I remember that bit. I do.
My favorite one is probably the one where Homer sells his soul to Satan for a donut.
Yeah. And Satan is Ned Flanders.
Ned Flanders, you're Satan. It's always the ones you least expect. Such a great bit.
Yep. Oh
and
my
also,
God, that was a gem.
And then when Lionel Hutz realized he was out of his league, and then he's like, "Excuse me for a moment, I'm gonna go to the bathroom." And then hours passed by. It turns out he left. He went out. He climbed out the window and left.
Yeah. Yep.
Man, it is such a shame we lost Phil Hartman. Lionel Hutz is one of the funniest characters in that show.
Yeah, and it was, and the fact that Phil Hartman went in such a tragic way.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm late. I was catching up on the case. I was practicing law in a bar. The Matlock was on, but the sound was off, so I think I got the gist of it. Another great old episode is when George Sr. moves across the street, and he and Homer have a feud.
Yeah.
That's such a great one.
Yeah, George Bush, right?
Yeah, George Bush Sr.
Yeah, the George H.W. Bush, as he's called.
Yeah,
he moves across the street, and basically, that was a Dennis the Menace mock-off.
Mm-hmm. It was also a response to how critical George H.W. Bush was of The Simpsons at the height of its popularity.
Yeah, and essentially they did it like Dennis the Menace. That's what they did it as.
Yep.
Man, I wish I was as thin as my patience.
That hurts. That hurts.
I know. It's like, well, for those who may not know, obviously my friends know, I am a bit on the husky side. So, and there's times where I'm just like, yeah, I wish I was as thin as my patience.
When I'm done with my King of the Hill watch, the Simpsons might be next for me. You know, until except with the King of the Hill, unlike King of the Hill, I'm not finishing The Simpsons. I will stop when I stop laughing. So right around where you are, I think.
それでどうする？厄介な滝はなくなったようだが。
じゃあ先に進むぞ。
I still think my favorite episode of all time is Hurricane Nettie.
Yes, Hurricane Nettie is like is iconic because the fact that we see Ned Flanders essentially go 180 of his normal self.
Yeah, because it turns out he's been repressing his anger.
Yeah,
and he just gets pushed one too many times.
It went off like a powder keg.
Yeah, because he got pushed one too many times.
And the fact that he lost everything in the hurricane, while everybody else survived.
Everybody else survived, and they tried to help him, but they're all incompetent as hell.
何が待ってんのか楽しみだ。
It's like, we had good intentions. Like, oh, me and my family can't live on good intentions, Marge.
Yeah.
Oh, look, if it isn't Lisa Simpson, did they answer the question nobody asked?
Yeah.
Oh, wow, dude. Wouldn't want to have a cow, man. Here's a phrase you can practice later in life. Hey there, buddy. Got a quarter?
Yeah. And then, did he go off on Homer, like, so fucking bad?
No, Homer, he was very, yeah, he was like, Homer, you were the worst human being I ever met. And then Homer goes, hey, I got off easy. My favorite is when he went up to Lenny. It's like, I don't know who you are, but I'm sure you're a jerk. Hey, I've only been here a few minutes. What's going on? Oh, The Simpsons was such a great show way back then. I've only been here a few minutes. What's going on?
It's like, if I get stopped by a cop someday, anything in the car I should know about? Nah, just stuff you shouldn't know about. Cool. Have a good day.
Oh, he said something about Chief Wiggum, but I forgot what it was.
That's it. And you know what's funny? That sounds like Chief Wiggum. It's like, anything in the car I should know about? Nah, just stuff you shouldn't know about. Okay, cool. Have a good day.
Oh yeah, that was actually the ending to the Treehouse of Horror one where he sells his soul for a donut, and then Flanders turns his head into a donut, and then Homer's trying to avoid going out, and all the cops are lined outside his house, and Wiggum's like, "Don't worry, boys, he has to come out sometime." Such a fucking great show that used to be.
Yep.
Don't worry, boys, he's gonna come out sometime. I don't remember what Ned said about Wiggum, but I know what he said about Krusty. He's like, oh, you're one of the only people here who doesn't make me laugh.
Wait, who is that now?
When Ned was going on his rant on everybody in Springfield that he hates, he went up to Krusty. He's like, oh, you're one of the people here who doesn't make me laugh. What the fuck did he say about Mo though? I don't remember.
I forget.
I'd have to bring up the screenplay for that episode.
Why is eating ass not called butthead?
That's why. I baby. But I have been consistently laughing at King of the Hill. So whatever void has been filled by The Simpsons stopping from being good for like 30 years, King of the Hill has filled. Like, I have consistently laughed at that show throughout my little marathon you guys pushed me to finally do. The last episode I watched today was the one where Bobby gets gout.
Oh boy, yep, that episode.
Not only was that a funny episode, it was actually very touching.
Yeah.
Because the last line in the episode got me teary-eyed. Because like when Hank had to take Bobby to the doctor, and he's like, well, one of the options is like, well, sometimes you just gotta play through the pain. And then like, you know, he stood up Connie unknowingly, and then his rascal loses battery, and he has to like hop on one foot to the school dance to apologize to her and try to dance with her. And then he's hopping on his one foot, and then Connie's like, but Bobby, what about your legs? Like my dad sometimes says, gotta play through the pain. I nearly shed tears at that. I thought that was so sweet.
Yeah. And sometimes you have to in life. It's like there's gonna be those times that are somewhat painful, and sometimes you gotta play through it. It's
like you managed to turn a joke said by an unwitting, ignorant father into a very sweet pickup line for your girlfriend. That's the brilliance of Mike Judge. All right, I'm losing focus here. Okay, so he's technique. So I imagine speed has to work for him. So swap Chopper and Frankie. Yep, I was right. Radical beam.
準備はできてるぞ。
肩慣らしといくか。ウルトラ
さて、お手並み拝見だな。
Oh, that's right. We have you again. So I actually need Usopp or Nami. All right. Sorry, during that discussion, I was like, wait a minute. I'm in a fight. I don't know what I'm doing. And I already lost my place.
So, you know the movie Lincoln?
The Spielberg one?
Yeah, with Daniel Day-Lewis?
Yes, I did see that one.
It grossed over $275 million in movie theaters. Which, that's kind of ironic since historically Lincoln doesn't do too well in theaters.
Shut up. That just reminds me of that Whitest Kids You Know skit of like where Abraham Lincoln's being unfetteringly annoying, and then someone says, and he's kind of, then someone's like, you know, at some point someone's gonna shoot that guy. Have you seen the Whitest Kids You Know?
I think so.
Yeah, they were. I was introduced to them through my little brother, and like some of those sketches are really fucking brilliant. It's really tragic what happened to the main guy. I forgot what his name was, but the guy who created the series, he like died suddenly the other year, a couple years ago. My favorite will always be Sex Robot. Because it's just a sex robot that's dancing around to music and saying sex robot, sex robot, sex robot, sex robot. He wants sex. What does he want? But the part that kills me is that as this is all going on, he's terrorizing the town, and then he goes on trial and he's sentenced to death by hanging, and then they finally kill him, and then the two cops that are overseeing his execution turn to each other and go, "What did we learn today?" And that's it. Kills me every time. What did we learn from this?
これがはるか昔の技術だって言うんだからワッフルドにどんどん進むぞ。お、あそこの扉中に入れそうだ。
ああ、中にはこの以降の巨像がいるはずだ。
But I should show you the Abraham Lincoln one. It's like they're watching a play and Abraham Lincoln is just disrupting the play at every freaking moment. And who is it that he's annoying the most? John Wilkes Booth.
Hey, you ready for a weird history fact?
Sure.
So, and this is credit from Wikimedia Commons, it says.
Mm-hmm.
So when Vincent Furnier's band originally came to LA, they were called the Naz, but the name was already taken, so they consulted a Ouija board for guidance. During the session with the occult, Vincent allegedly learned that he was the reincarnated soul of Alice Cooper, who was a woman burned at the stake during the Salem witch trials for practicing the black arts. And so apparently that's how Alice Cooper came to be.
I thought Alice Cooper was still alive.
No, like I think his original name was Vincent Furnier.
Mm.
And he changed his name.
Ah, okay.
But we all know him as Alice Cooper. So this probably could have happened way back in the early stages of the band.
Zoro already tried to get lost again. It's like, all right, so there's 3 of these. Which one? 4 of them. Which one we start? It's like, let's start with this one. And Sanji's like, stupid. That's the door we just came in from. God damn it, Zoro. We can't take you anywhere.
So
no chances. Not after what happened the other week. Transforming from status name solid to status name liquid. Transforming, transformation to liquid status confirmed. What? So it's like a computer and it just says it's now a solid and liquid. Okay. Interesting.
what were you referring to about happening last week?
Do you remember when the save data got corrupted?
Oh, that, okay.
Mm-hmm.
So, John, say this phrase out loud. Rise up lights.
It's razor blades in Australian.
Yes.
Oh! It's the ice dungeon. You know what that means. I gotta tell that story.
Okay.
Alright, so if you guys have not seen the Deadly Premonition playthrough on SBR or the Red Dead Redemption 2 playthrough on SBR, back in 2020, I had the most interesting retail story I've ever had happen. And no, this had nothing to do with my job. I was off the clock by this point. This was somewhere else. So New Year's Eve 2020, you know, the year that we all would rather forget. Yeah, me too. New Year's Eve 2020, I was finishing my shift at work, and I put in a order ahead at Outback Steakhouse, which is next door from where I work. And I put this in early, mind you, because I knew it was New Year's Eve. It was gonna get crazy. I was not prepared for how crazy. And it was when I clocked out and I got in my car and drove over to the Outback Steakhouse building across the street. You know those little cubby pickup rooms next to the restaurant Outback Steakhouse? You know what I'm talking about?
Wait, what
Like,
now? Wait,
you know
what?
those
What?
you know those little tiny rooms for online pickup that the Outback Steakhouse has? That really small room for some reason that they have, that just has a register and a computer.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I went up to one of those to pick up my order, and I saw a line, and I'm like, uh-oh, what the fuck happened? Turns out, a ton of orders that were supposed to have been done were on back order, and none of them were complete. And everybody there was waiting for theirs to be done, and I'm like, well, shit. Boy, did I pick a bad one this time, but I paid the money, and I'm not leaving out without dinner. As soon as I go home, I'm passing out. And as I'm asking everybody what's going on, they tell me what I just told you guys. I'm like, oh, no, okay, well, I guess I'm just going to wait for my order because I paid ahead. And they're like, oh, yeah, well, I ordered ahead, too. Like, I ordered, like, hours before you did. I'm like, oh, God. And then, out from said cubby door, whatever you want to call this little online pickup room, comes this very short man. And he has the most Philadelphian accent I've ever heard in my life, said not on the It's Always a Sunny in Philadelphia show. This was a real Philadelphian man accent. Man comes out, like, just imagine a Philadelphian Joe Pesci. He comes out yelling, this place is a fucking zoo! No orders are done! And they don't know what the fuck they're doing! This is a fucking zoo! And he starts getting unintelligible by this point. Normally you think that this is where, oh God, we have a Karen situation on our hands. Not only are our orders on back order, we're gonna have an issue now with a male Karen causing issues. Not so. That's not what this guy does. This man is so impassioned and upset that his order for him and his wife are not done. My man's gets himself a pen and paper, and I think an apron too, if I'm remembering this right. He starts going up to everybody, he's going, and I shit you not, word for word, hey buddy, what did you order? I don't fucking work here, but apparently these people can't keep up with the order, so I'm pitching in. What the fuck did you order? And he did this to everybody who was standing outside in the freezing cold. Everyone. Literally everybody. And he's sitting there taking orders. And I swear to God, this guy is so effective and so entertaining. People are tipping him. I almost would have did it myself. This guy was getting tips. And it gets better. It gets better. At some point, one employee at Outback Steakhouse was getting so overwhelmed. They were carrying a bunch of sodas in like one of those soda tray things. She spilled it. Guess what this guy does? He gets himself an apron and a mop and starts mopping it up. This man is so impassioned about how his order's not ready. He's willing to... He took time out of his day while his poor wife is in the car waiting for him to get this order and take her home for New Year's night. He starts helping out. And by God, things start moving along, and he cleans up the freaking building. Mind you, this is during COVID time, so nobody's in that restaurant. He's in there cleaning a floor that no actual person other than employees spilled on. And as soon as I got my food, I am almost confident this is what was happening. I think I saw him talking to the manager, and the manager was taking down his time, and I think they gave him some pay. And that was my New Year's Outback Steakhouse story from 2020. I'm never going to forget it as long as I fucking live. And this is like the second time you've heard it, right?
Third.
Third. I told you off recording? Huh.
Yeah, I remember you did.
Oh, okay. So that's right, because you watched the best ofs, and it's in best of 2021.
Yes.
So you heard, I told it to you for the first time during Red Dead 2, and then you heard me tell the original time to Austin where he had not heard it yet, and then you just heard me tell it live again. Yeah, no story I have is ever going to top that. That's wild. Maybe I have to hit that again. Well, I hope you all enjoyed that, because I enjoyed recollecting my recalling my recollection of it. It was it sure was something. I hardly believed it as it was happening. Oh, and if you're wondering, was my food good after all that? No, it was cold, and I got indigestion the next day. But was it worth it for that story? You bet your sweet bippy.
You bet your sweet bippy ass.
Oh, I see what I gotta do. I had to raise the water level, make it solid again. You're the one who chose not to put a shirt on, Nami. Not that I'm complaining. It's probably in this chest. Nope, it's money. You know what it probably is? I probably have to fight those enemies that happen. Oh boy, another dugong.
みんなで力を合わせるんだ。
フルパワーでいくぞ。俺に任せとけ。フランキーアイアンボクシング。
や やるわよ。こんな
肩慣らしといくか。
よし、俺様に任せる。これでどうだ。
邪魔するなら容赦しないわよ。そこまで。はっ、これでどう。
おーっぱー。スーパー。俺はまだまだ強くなる。
Okay, so there wasn't really a point to that, was there? Wait a minute, hold on. Okay, there really wasn't a point to that then. I thought he was guarding the key. Oh, okay. There we go. Oh, what the hell?
強烈なのをお見舞いしてあげる。
やっと俺の出番か。
よし、任せろ。よっ、サード。ゴムゴムのギガントピストル。
とうとう俺を本気にさせやがったな。
邪魔するなら容赦しないわよ。
やっと俺の出番か。俺に任せろ。ディアブルジャンブフランバージュシャット。
覚悟しな。俺はもう止まらねえぞ。
交代だ。モンスターポイント。
ギアセカンドゴムゴムのジェットガザリング。
コックに逆らうとどうなるか。なめんじゃね
俺は戦士だ。
俺に
すごいな。変身するのかチョッパーくん。
そんなの褒められても嬉しくねえよ、この野郎。
That's right, Audio hasn't seen me do Monster Point yet. Right, I forgot to throw it back to ice. It also just dawned on me that this is the 10th time I've streamed this. Yeah, typically JRPGs take me about 12 to 20 streams, so unless you're a Persona game or a Fire Emblem. Actually, no, Engage has been going by quicker than my 3 houses ones ever did.
Yeah.
進むためには仕方ないけど
But then again, I also used to stream 2 hours a night instead of only 3.
下に行けばいいんだよな
No way, I think 3 houses is from when I used to do 3 hours.
わからね
And I also did almost every route in that game, except for the silver one, which I care not for because Rhea is a war criminal bitch and I hate her.
なんだここどうやって進むんだ
And I had no intention of doing the route of, what if you're on her side?
よく見りゃ天井に
I'm like, fuck that. If it helps, most of the Tales games I do on here, they've only taken me about 12 to 15 streams and then I'm done with them. So if this is anything to go by, then we're probably going to get there somewhere soon with this. So far, this dungeon seems like it's been going okay compared to the Thunder one. Well, the Thunder one wasn't that bad, but the Earth one that we did a couple weeks ago, yeah, that one was like ugh. With the flipping of the temple and all that. And that penguin really wants it. Just trying to think of how I got there. Ah, figured it out.
着いた先進むぞ ねえロビンは寒くないの
私もちろん寒いわよ。
おっとっと
I Yeah, I think the longest I ever went in a JRPG was the original Persona 5, because that one was the one where I had no idea what I was doing. It was my very first playthrough. I think it took me about 40 streams. Persona 4 Golden, on the other hand, took me, I think, only 30-ish. And Persona 5 Royal, I want to say it was somewhere close to 30, but not quite. But your standard JRPG, not crazy Persona length, usually takes me within the 10 to 20 range. Unless there's another level, this dungeon doesn't look like it's gonna be too bad. I do that out of fear now.
何をしよってんだ、アディオ。
まあ見てな。
Wait, he has mind control now too?
こっちだ。この足場の下に別の足場がある。おいアディオ、今のはなんだ？お前の能力、生きたものはつかめねえんじゃなかったか？
Yeah, I thought that too.
掴んでるわけじゃねえ。今のはソルメンテ。俺のコテコテの出来損ないの技さ。自我の弱い者の心を掌握して、そいつの見たり聞いたりした情報を共有できる。まあ、心を握る技さ。
Rich, I don't know about you, but I'm suspicious of this guy now.
Audio?
Yeah. Like, I don't like the way he said that. I don't like the way the camera's framing him. He's he basically just revealed to the party. It's like, wait, I thought you couldn't grab people. It's like, oh, I'm not grabbing him. It's mind control.
Oh boy. 自我の強い者には弾かれちまうかな。
なんだよ、便利なのかどうかわかんねえな。
Oh fuck! You know what? I think he's the villain. Because, do you remember like when I had to fight Crocodile and Rob Lucci a second time, and they were electrified?
Yeah.
When he electrified that bat and controlled it, it looked the same.
Oh boy.
You're laughing this off so... Oh, okay. Now I know it's serious because look who the camera's framing it on right now. The smartest member of the crew.
Robin.
Yep. Mm-hmm. She knows. Because she used to be in the business of deception and villainy, so she knows one when she sees one. Yeah, if he's not the villain, I'm gonna be shocked. That was not a pun that was intended. Please ignore it.
Alright.
Although now that I said that, you probably can't help yourself.
Not really.
Because he has like lightning-based attacks.
Ara, 装置に続いてリフトもあるのね。
変な穴に突撃。さあ、どこに繋がってんのかな。
Chopper, don't ever say that again. Into the weird hole. Now, where does it lead? Never say that again. Oh. Oh, hello. Fancy meeting you here.
この勝負最後に勝つのは俺だ。この勝負最後に勝つのは俺。フランキーファイヤーボール。やるってんだな。フランキーキャノン。かかってこ。必殺ヒルトリバシ。
可愛いだけじゃないってこと分かってもらえたかしら。
That was easy enough.
そういやかなり進んだが巨像のとこにはまだつかねえのか。
焦るなよ。
I have no idea what Luffy's doing down there.
この石板に刻まれている内容は
どうかしたの？
気象についての研究が書かれているわ。
面白そうね。もう少し聞かせて。
観測と実験、それもかなり高度な。ただそのどれもが実際に空の上で実験しないとわからないような内容なの。
内海で見た風車もウェザリア式のものだったわ。
四方の塔にあった研究資料にもワフルドは空から落ちてきたと書かれていた。つまりワフルドはかつて空にあって気象の研究をしていた空島だったと考えるのが自然ね。
驚きだわ。ハレダスさんは知っているのかしら。
また青の扉か。
Oh shit, we're already here. Of course, we have to freeze the water to get over there. Iron door slicer. Cut 20 doors of Zora's door slice.
よし。
出るにはどう進めばいいんだ。思ったより入り組んでて迷いそうだぞ。
よし。
お、こんなとこにも装置があるぞ。俺に任せろ。
よし。はっよっいしょっと。やってやるぜ。それ。
I decided all the way back, huh? Yeah.
私の出番ね。よいしょっと。
No, you run too slow.
任せろ。
I have to walk out there twice. God damn. That's really, really annoying. They should have made it so that there's a path you can go around instead of doing this every time.
Yeah.
But they did not do that. Unless there is one and I don't know about it.
Would it be in a spoiler-free guide?
I have a spoiler-free guide open. It says, yeah, this is a pain in the ass. So, it said if you don't care about getting the items, just do the thing. But apparently I went and did getting all the items, so it's fine. So, I just have to shoot the thing with Usopp's sharpshooter to raise the water level, then go back where I just was and freeze the water, and then we're gonna fight the boss. I just have to walk around here twice. What I'll do is before I go fight the boss, I'll go grab that.
俺に任せろ。
And then once that's frozen, I can walk around freely. There we go. Well, I'm not making this mistake again. Let's wrap the chapter.
悪いな。俺たちの箱返してもらうぞ。
水の巨像というよりは水と氷って感じね。
対抗するには熱か。ということは俺の出番だな、ロビンちゃん。
おう、じゃあ行ってこい。そうすりゃ車湯の氷漬けの出来上がりだ。
ああ、バカにしてんのかクソ剣士。
お前らやってる場合か。
負けられねえよな、こんなと。フランキーキャノン。
Jesus, who died?
やべえ、意識がみっともねえな。
What? Everyone but Chopper, are you kidding? You've got to be fucking joking me.
怖くなんてねえぞ。これ食ってくれ。
Oh my god.
動かね やっと俺の出番か。
ほら、これうまいぞ。
どんとこいよ。相手してやる。
さあ食え。
負けられねえよな。こんなところでよ。フランキーキャノン。
行くぞ。俺についてこい。腹が減って力が出ねえ。
動かね
Audio just ate it. And so did the rest of the crew.
休憩だ。
やべえ、意識が。
みっともねえな。
みんな、怖くなんてねえぞ。
Alright, I seriously doubt this is how it's gonna work, but we're gonna try it. If I die, I know what to do. I know what to do differently. Lower his stats before he attacks. Yeah, this ain't going well.
休憩だ。
まだだ。俺はまだ。
Oh, okay, so you don't automatically lose if the whole party gets bodied.
これは一筋縄ではいかなそうね。ウソップ、使わせてもらうわ。
いけるか。
きっちり型をつけるとするか。まずは飯だ。
強えな。行くぞ。ギアセカンドゴムゴムのジェットガタリング。
これは気を抜けなそうな相手ね。トレインタフルールフリップ。
ぶっ飛ばしてやる。いやサードゴムゴムのギガントピストル。
背中の傷は剣士の
そんな
味だ。
力が入んねえ。いやサードゴムゴムのギガントピストル。
All right, now it's over. Well, that hit me like a truck. All right, so instead of attacking right away, I should go right for decreasing his stats. Everyone's health is good.
Ha ha ha! 準備はいいか？
おう。
Lord, I hope so.
水の巨像とい
対抗するに。おお、じゃあ。
お前らやってる場合か！
こいつを食らいな。
There we go.
Ah!
仲間の力を見せてやる。モンスターポイント。
はははお手柔らかに頼むぜ。
よっとぶちのめしてやるよ。フランキーキャノン。
今行く。ディアブルジャンブ。フ
フランバージュシャット。相手が強そうだからって逃げ出すわけにはいかねえ。腹が減って力が出ねえ。
怖くなんてねえぞ。行くぞ。
グランデ。
Oh, that'll be a big help. Someone still died. Okay, well, at least it was Usopp.
さあ食え。
俺から行く。必殺ヒルトリ星。
ちょっとは本気出さねえとな。グランデ。
Yeah, I remember how much I complained about that last dungeon. Now I don't care. Keep doing that. Boost our defense like crazy.
くそー、動けねえ。
おいお前、下ろしちまうぞ。ディアブルジャンブプルミエールアッシュ。やっべえ。
頑張ってみんなの役に立つぞ。腹減ったな。
相手が強そうだからって逃げ出すわけにはいかねえ。無駄な抵抗はやめろ。
お手柔らかに。グランデ。
くそー、動けねえ。
効かね
怖くなんてねえぞ。当たれ。
俺から行く。腹が減って力が出ねえ。
え。さて、お手並み拝見だ。グランデ。体が動かねえ。
くそー、動けねえ。
Really?
怖くなんてねえぞ。
行くぞゾロチョッパー。
トレ
いっそやるトップグリーンの多彩性見せてやる。行くぞ。いっそやる
さてお手並み拝見。ランデ冷えるな。まだいけるぜ。
やべえ意識が。
ほらこれうまいぞ。
Come on.
やばいか
You
も。
gotta be kidding me.
動かねえ。
腹減ったな。
冗談じゃねえ。こうって。
死ぬのは嫌だな。俺だって強くなったんだ。こんなやつに負けねえぞ。これ食ってくれ。
No, not again.
こんなところで
一応やるか。私が必要ってことね。
私の番のようね。
刀なしといくか。
ほい。なんで私なのよ。サンジ君いただくわ。
それ
動かねえ。
いや
切りがいがありそうだ。まずは飯だ。
ミラーズテンポ。ファタモルガナ。
これは気を抜けなそうな相手ね。サンジ、これいただくわ。
よし行くか。九刀流アシュラ一部銀。
なめないでね。こう見えてなかなかやるわよ。サンジ君いただくわ。
けるか。いやサードゴムゴムのギガントピストル。
よし行くか。九刀流アシュラ一部銀。
冷たい。
I'm beginning to think that guide is a liar because it said, "Oh, use everybody that has fire skills to take it out." But apparently, everybody that has a fire skill eats shit to this thing immediately.
きっちり型をつけるとするが。九刀流。
Zoro's Ashura thing is like doing mega damage to it. Oh, come on. Live, 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 live. Alright, who didn't live?
ちょっとやばいかも。
You've got to be fucking joking me. This is the worst. Just when I thought things are going well. Everybody had to freeze. Okay, another idea. I think I have equipment that can prevent freezing. Maybe that I could put them on everyone.
Yeah, things seem to be going right, and now it's just like, nope.
Yeah, the Ice Colossus is like, bitch, you thought.
It's like the fuck you are. It's just like that Jason Bateman meme, the fuck you are. Okay, well, I'm hungry, so I'm gonna go make something to eat.
Yeah, I want to be sitting here messing with
Cause I'm hungry.
Hahaha. 準備はいいか？
おう。
水の対抗するにはね。
おう、じゃあ。
あ？お前らやってる場合か？
からくり玉だ。
とうとう俺を本気にさせやがったな。それよ。
ああ。
いつでもいいぞ。 まずは飯だ。
仲間の力を見せてやる。モンスターポイント。
フランデ。
よし、行くか。九刀流アシュラ一部。やるな。
必殺気の取り星。
言ってなんかいねえぞ。腹減ったな。
さて、お手並み拝見。フランデ。
くそー、動けね
こんなの効くのか。
相手が強そうだからって逃げ出すわけにはいかね
え。腹が減って力が出ね
俺だって強くなったんだ。こんな奴に負けねえぞ。お前ら無茶しすぎだぞ。
え。ぶちのめしてやるよ。フランキーキャノン。
さて、お手並み拝見。フランデ。
やるな。九刀流アシュラ一部。
ぶちのめしてやるよ。飯の時間だ。
俺から行く。必殺気の取り星。
さて、お手並み拝見だな。
Wait, were you screaming, John?
What?
Were you screaming?
No.
Oh, okay.
So, you are going to be mad at me when I found something out.
What?
Apparently there's an option to tell the game to recommend equipment for people, and I wasn't doing it. And then as soon as I started this fight, I realized, oh, he doesn't hit that hard anymore. So I'm actually doing pretty good. I'm already at the half point. Because I'm going to use Frankie Cannon on his ass. And actually, you can look at his health right now. He's at half.
Frankie Cannon!
Yeah.
Jesus Christ! All right, this might still kill us, though. Nearly, but not instantaneously like before. Is Frankie frozen right now? Oh no, he just went, so no. I need to unfreeze Zoro so I can swap Luffy back out. Because we get a bonus XP if I beat him with Luffy.
チョッパー。よし、任せろ。よっ、サード。ゴムゴムのギガントピストル。
ちょっとは本気出さねえとな。グランデ。
トップグリーンの多彩性見せてやる。使え。いけるか。
怖くなんてねえぞ。それ。
あう。俺様の技術力。フランキーキャノン。
ちょっとは本気出さねえと。グランデ。
いけるか。サード。ゴムゴムのギガントピストル。負けられねえよな。フランキーファイヤーボール。
Eat shit!
これで3体目か。ナミさん、ここを出たら温かい料理を作るからね。
ありがとね、サンジ君。寒さでもう体が限界だったの。
寒い。そういや、なんか体が震えてきたぞ、サンジ。
今さらかよ。お前にも何か作ってやるから適当に温まっとけ。
And one more.
サイボーグフランキーの進化。
俺は勇敢なる海の戦士ウソップだ。
俺強くなった気がする。でも
目指すは世界一の大剣豪だ。
私の成長は止まらないわ。
理由は話せん。これは政府の取り決めだ。従ってもらおう。
どうだった？
説明もない命令には従えんと言い張りおった。
だが出すしかあるまい。バスターコールの指令をな。
Oh god, no. Really? Come on. Fuck you. Oh, did you fall asleep during that part, Rich? You're still there, right?
Yeah, sorry, I was eating.
So you probably fell asleep during that part when we were in Annie's lobby. Do you know what a buster call is?
No.
In the One Piece world, it is the equivalent to a nuclear bomb.
And what is it called again?
The buster call. Basically, there's a golden transponder snail, and if you press it, the Marines are duty bound to send all the admirals and vice admirals to a specific location and blow it the fuck up till there's nothing left. It doesn't matter where it is, who called it in. The moment that button's pressed, everyone goes to where that signal came from and blows it the fuck up.
Well, damn.
Yep, it was a major point of the NES lobby arc, and I guess they're gonna use it on Wofford. It is no shit the One Piece equivalent of like just nuking a country.
Well, goddamn.
どうかしたのか、アディオ。
いや、 この席が少し気になって
なんだよ、ロビンだけじゃなくお前もこんなぐっちゃぐっちゃした文字が好きなのか？
な。悪くない趣味だろ。
そういや、お前もぐちゃぐちゃの文字を書き込んでるもんな。
文字？ああ、この入れ墨のことか。
全然違う感じのやつだけど、エースも背中に書いてたんだ。
俺のは一族に受け継がれてきた文様でもあるからな。魂のようなものさ。打ち勝ちたいもの、守り抜きたいもの、何でもいい。絶対に曲げられないことの証明ってやつだ。
エースは白ひげのおっさんのドクロだったな。
そうか。つまりはそういうことかもな。
魂のようなものか。いいな、アディオ。かっこいいぞ。
そう思うか。
ああ、気に入った。
うん。
Go on a new adventure. Return to Audio's house.
巨像はあと何体いるんだ？
島に残った巨像はあと1体のはず。
よし、もう少し
All right, we only have to fight one more of those in this entire game, according to him.
冒険を再開するぞ。
You know, assuming we can still trust his word, which I don't know if I do. But I followed a non-spoiler-free guide. Yeah.
メモリアキューブってあんなに安定しないものなの？どういうこと？時々制御できないようになるの。
Then explain the situation in Memoria.
あなたの感情が反映されてるとも考えられるけど、そこまでおかしな状態になるとは思えないわ。そう。不安を抱えているみたいね。本当にいいの？あなた自身、自分のしていることが正しいと思えないのでしょ。でもアディオにも大切な人たちが。まだ時間はある。よく考えて。寝てしまったわ。
どうだ、そっくりだろう。こいつはある一族に伝わる文様だ。かつては空島にあって栄華を誇った立派な一族さ。わかるか？俺とお前は同じ一族の出身ってことだ。
本当？
ああ、しかも俺たちだけじゃねえ。海の向こうで
Yeah, I thought he looked familiar. I guess he's from a, he's probably from Shandora.
なぜその人たちはここに来ないの？
妨害に遭ってるからさ。このワフルドを守る力が働いているために到達することができないんだよ。
力？
隠すなよ。神の息吹と名付けられた遺跡さ。安心しろ。別に壊そうってんじゃない。しばらく俺が操れるようにするだけだ。一族をこの島に帰還させるため、神の息吹の嵐による妨害を止めなければならないからな。神の息吹を起こすには島の危機と判断させるため4つの巨像を倒す必要がある。だが巨像を自ら破壊しちまうと敵対者と認識され支配者の資格を失う。
ええ、そうね。
もうすぐこのワフルドに一筋縄じゃいかねえ海賊がやってくる。そいつらをうまく利用して4つの巨像を倒したい。リム、協力してくれるな。
アディオは正しいことをしているもの。きっとルフィも許してくれる。
Yeah, I knew something was up.
飯だ飯。
任せとけ。それよ。
お、腕が鳴るな。さあ食え。
よーし、宴だ。
おお、こいつうめえな。
さてと、行くか。
The day and night cycle animation is really nice. I gotta put. I do have to say, not many day and night cycle animations in games look that good, especially for a licensed video game. Oh, before I do anything else. I am not repeating that shit.
準備ができたのなら行きましょう。
ちょっと待て、リム。
どうしたの？
先に飯だ。腹減った。は あ、いつものことだけれど緊張感がないわね。
ルフィはどんな時でも食いしん坊なのね。
次はどこに向かうの？
このキューブはマリンフォードというところのようね。
Oh Jesus! Well, I already knew about that, but if that came up when I didn't know, I'd be like, oh God, why are we going there?
ここはどういう場所なの？
俺がエースを助けに行った場所だ。
This is gonna be traumatic for Luffy.
だったらそのエースを助けることがルフィのすべきことね。
ああ、そうだよ
な。ルフィ、お前。
俺なら大丈夫だ、ウソップ。よし、みんな行こう。
Warning, powerful enemies appear consecutively in the next chapter, and you can't save until all battles are finished. The recommended level is 34. It is recommended you only progress once you are prepared. I'm at level 34, so let's go. Well, it is the Marineford War, and it's just that arc was just fight after fight after fight after fight. And if it sucks ass, I'll just grind till next time we stream. Chapter 5's done.
合流した仲間と共に巨像を撃破した麦わらの一味。
取り戻したキューブに浮かぶ記憶は彼らにとって辛い記憶だった。
Yeah, Luffy, how'd you like to relive the traumatic moment where your brother died?
苦渋の決断。
Right in front of you.
自称頂上戦争戦乱のマリンフォード。
今回はお前らがいる。俺に力を貸してくれ。
I have to wonder if Luffy actually would try to save Ace this time. Wouldn't matter or anything because it's a memory, but
I wonder if it's possible that it can be altered to see what if.
Yeah, well, these are non-canon, so it wouldn't matter anyway. Yeah, okay, so they're summarizing how they all got separated in the first place.
キザルに追い詰められている。必死に応戦をするルフィたちだったが、突然現れた七部会バーソロミュー・クマの手によってそれぞれ見知らぬ土地へと飛ばされ、麦わらの一味は完全崩壊を喫してしまった。
Well, not disbanded, but separated.
妙な島アマゾンリリー。この島で女帝ハンコックの信頼を得たルフィは、兄エースが公開処刑されるという情報を知る。エースを救おうとインペルダウンの最深部に乗り込んだルフィ。しかし時すでに遅く、エースは公開処刑のために海軍本部へ移送されていた。ルフィは海峡のジンベエや
There's Jinbei.
かつての宿敵クロコダイルたちと共に難攻不落のインペルダウンを脱出し、海軍本部の主マリンフォードへと向かった。
That's right. Luffy had to team up with Crocodile and Buggy.
エースを救い出すため湾内を埋め尽くすほどの海賊船団が押し寄せていた。これらを率いるのは四皇の白ひげ、世界最強の大海賊である。迎え撃つ海軍も最高戦力の大将赤犬、キザル、青生地が集結する。さらにはもう一つの大勢力桜花七部会も顔を揃え、白ひげ海賊団と相まみえるのだった。その規模と世界を震撼させた結末から後に頂上戦争と呼ばれることになる歴史的な大戦、エースの処刑をめぐり、その大乱戦の火蓋が今切られた。
Marineford.
強大な戦力がぶつかり合うマリンフォード。白ひげが巨大な津波を起こせば、青生地が瞬時に凍結させる。誰が勝ち誰が負けても時代が変わる。まさに頂上の戦いが繰り広げられていた。そしてルフィたちはエースを救うため戦いの真っ只中についに降り立った。
こいつ麦わらのルフィだ。奥越えルーキーだぞ。
This is gonna be really weird because the rest of the Straw Hats were not here during this.
なんで麦わらの一味がここにいる。
So what the warning said was true. Does this chapter just be like a giant gauntlet?
I'm wondering if it's going to be a Dynasty Warriors type chapter.
Oh yeah, like the Pirate Warriors games were like a perfect backdrop for the Marineford saga. Like it was perfect because like that's how massive this friggin' war was.
It wouldn't surprise me if that's what they're doing, and if they would do that in this level. Since
yeah.
Basically, the Paramount War seems like it was just a gigantic. Well, it was a gigantic war.
Strong cola charge. That's right. I always forget that Frankie is a cyborg whose power source is soda. And if you put any other drink in his fuel source, his personality changes. Like for example, if you put tea in there, he will become British. And if you put vegetable juice in there, he'll turn into a farmer. It's very weird, but it's very funny. Wait. I just hope that there is a moment where I can save, because like this is like towards the end of my my normal stream time. Granted, I don't have to work tomorrow, so I could stream as long as I wanted to, or as long as I'm forced to. But I'd rather not do that if I don't have to. The upside would be is if it's just fights and then the chapter's over, then we're right in the throes of chapter 7 next time I stream this. Yeah, it's looking to be that way.
No offense, John, but looking at the time, I'm probably gonna have to call it.
That's okay. I'm gonna stop the moment that they let me, but I don't know when that's gonna be.
Yeah, and like I said, I unfortunately have one more day, so.
Yeah, that's totally fine. You usually don't stick around anyway. I will stop when this game lets me. Hopefully that's not too long from now. But if that does happen, the best case scenario is I'll have this chapter done and we'll be 3 chapters left in the game.
Okay. Well, I'm out of here, so good night.
Good night. I will talk to you tomorrow night for Fire Emblem Engage.
Yep, I'll be there.
All right, see you then.
Bye.
Okay, you are a technique, so...
なんとか勝てたな。
ええ、よかったわ。ウソップの鼻が削れてなくならずに済んで。
いや、怖えよ。
いきなり海兵かよ。こいつは頂上戦争のど真ん中だな。
聞いてた以上にとんでもない状況じゃねえか。こんなところにいたら命がいくつあっても足りねえぞ。
エース、みんな聞いてくれ。エースはあそこにいる。この戦争でエースは死んだ。
ルフィ、
この世界は現実じゃねえかもしれねえけど、俺はエースを助けたい。ゾロ、ナミ、ウソップ、サンジ、チョッパー、ロビン、フランキー、今回はお前らがいる。俺に力を貸してくれ。
おう。
どけよ。俺たちはエースのところに行くんだ。
Oh shit.
おお、麦わらの一味。揃いも揃ってどうやってこんな場所まで来れたんだい。しかしシャボンディで拾ったばかりの命をこうもあっさり捨てに来るとは呆れるね。借りっぱなしは気分が悪いからな。返せるときに返しとかないと。若いね。
先に行けルフィ。こいつは俺たちで止める。
ああ、兄貴を助けろ。
わしも舐められたもんだよ。
Ah, crap.
好き勝手もここまでだ。麦わら。
お前、ケムリ。お前と戦ってる場合じゃねえ。俺たちはエースのところに行くんだ。 ルフィ、先に行って。
行け、ルフィ。ここは俺たちが何とかする。
行ってルフィ。エースを必ず助けて。すまねえ。頼んだ。
All of you against Smoker? Alright.
待ちやがれ、麦わら。
悪いけど私たちの相手をしてもらう。
ルフィの邪魔はさせねえぞ。
なめないでね。こう見えてなかなかやるわよ。しょうがない。やりますか。行くわよ。
お前を倒す算段はつけてきた。
なんで私なのよ。一人10万よ。幸せパンチ。
怖くなんてねえぞ。モンスターポイント。
どうした？来い！やってやる！
これは気を抜けなそうな相手が。オチエンタフルールクロトワマーノ。
生きがってやがるのも今のうちだ。
サンダーランスクーボ
誰か早く止血を。
たまらんな。やば。
これは一筋縄ではいかなそうね。
相手が強そうだからって逃げ出す腹が減って力が出ね
ー。まずいわね。こいつ強いわ。サンダーランスクーボ
手強いわね。みんな行くわよ。
こんなもんじゃねえぞ。ホワイトランチャー。
まだ
サンダーランスクーボ
俺から行く。さあベカールデンパンダ
医者医者。
なめないでね。こんなあんたがどれだけ強くても私の予報は外れない。
俺が万能薬になるんだ。
成長を実感できる。
私の成長は。
Well, okay, that was good.
おお、シャボンディの時とは見違える強さだ。この数日で何があったんだ。手下でこれなら船長はもっと危険なのかね。船長を逃がすためとはいえ、お前たちで相手になるかね。
光だろうがなんだろうが切れない道理は。俺のビームの方が強いってとこ見せてやるぜ。
やっと俺の出番か。
フランキーラディカルビーム。
おいお前、下ろしちまうぞ。ディアブルジャンブフランバージュシャット。
きっちり型をつけるとするか。
びっくりしたね。 ちょいと困ったね。
ディアブルジャンブフランバージュシャット
いくよ。
まずは飯だ。あお任せろ。
負けられねえよな、こんなところでよ。フランクラディカルビーム。
Oh, that was easy.
オルサリーノさん、麦わらが湾岸にたどり着きそうです。
参ったね。仕方ない。ここは任せたよ。
待ち上がる。海賊風情がこの海軍本部で好き勝手できると思うな。ここは通さんぞ、麦わらの一味。
邪魔だデカブツ。3枚に下ろすぞこら。
パワー勝負なら俺様の出番だ。スーパー任せろ。
切りがいがありそうだ。それ
ぶちのめしてやるよ。飯の時間だ。
ラリーナ。
俺がやる。どうした？
肩慣らしといくか。
フランキーキャノン。
切りがいがありそうだ。
九刀流足が一部。九刀流足が一部。
俺様の技術力味わわせてやる。飯の時間だ。
切りがいがありそうだ。
九刀流足が一部銀。
ぶちのめしてやるよ。フランキーラディカルビーム。
頭がいってなめんじゃねえ。あの地獄の2年間に比べたら。
あらら、とうとうここまで。お前にはまだこのステージは早すぎる。
早くねえよ。今は一人じゃねえからな。俺の後ろには仲間がいるんだ。
And Jinbei.
まさに満身創痍じゃな。 も怪我で海軍大将が相手では分が悪い。加勢させてもらうぞルフィ。
ジンベエ行くぞ。いやセカンド。
遅いね。
ルフィ君、
お前のじいさんは恩人だが仕方ねえよな。男一匹選んだ死の道。デザートスパーだ。あらら、こりゃまた珍客だ。今度はクロコダイル、お前さんもか。こんなルーキーに加勢するとは七部会も安くなったもんだね。
邪魔はねえな麦わら。
お前はワニ。
長い牢獄暮らしで体がなまってやがる。刀出しにはちょうどいい相手だ。黙って突っ立って。
こんなところで立ち止まらねえ。俺は絶対たどり着く。
わしも少しは役に立たせてもらおう。
ワニ、ジンベエ、助かった。
まったくクロコダイル、あんたが他人の助太刀とはね。
勘違いするなよ。俺は俺の目的のためにてめえらの相手をしてるだけだ。
あんたはもう少し利口だと思ってたんだが、少し買いかぶりすぎたかね。
そうじゃな。こちらはこちらでなすべきことをするまでじゃ。
いけるか。待ってろ、今行く。くらえ。
アイスエイジ。これくらいで弱音吐いてちゃわけねえな。
グランドセッコ。グランドデス。
君厄介そうだね。
お主の力このわしに見せてみろ。
こいつ強えな。飯だ。
効かぬ。やりのり濡らさべ。
君厄介そうだね。
ほう、いいじゃねえ
か。こいつ強えな。いや、サード。ゴムゴムのギガントピストル。
やさかにの勾玉。
めちゃめちゃ効いたぞ。
かぬ。ほう、いい。グランドセッコ。グランドデス。
こりゃなんとも。
こりゃ倒しがいのありそうなやりのり濡らさべ。
いけるか。いや、サード。ゴムゴムのギガントピストル。
ちょいと困ったね。天野村雲。
まだまだ。
お前俺に逆らうのか。アルファン。
ひどいことするじゃないの。 そうだね。
無駄だ。どけ。
あらら、こりゃ参った。
やりなみ村雨。
びっくりしたね。
ギアセカンドゴムゴムのジェットガザリング。
天の村雲。
こりゃ倒しがいのありそうなやつだ。ほう、いいじゃねえか。グランドセッコ。グランドです。
こいつ強えな。ゴムゴムのジェットガザリング。
ここまでかね。
守りてえもんはしっかり守りやがれ。これ以上こいつらの思い通りにさせんじゃねえよ。
待ってろエース。調子がいいぞ。
なぜ仲間のことを思ってる人たちがお互い傷つけ合うの？どうしてこんなに血を流すの？
ジンベエクロコダイルの加勢を受け立ちふさがる難敵を撃破したルフィ。ハンコックから手錠の鍵を受け取り、ついにエースのいる処刑台にたどり着いた。
昔からそうさ、ルフィ。俺の言うこともろくに聞かねえで無茶ばっかりしやがって。俺も弟も世話になっちゃったな。
逃がすな。危険のエースは火のロギアだぞ。気をつけろ。
弟なんだよ。手出し無用で頼む。引けー。ゴムゴムのガソリング。
Oh, fuck.
兄弟も後ろの一味もここから生きて返せ。正義の名折れじゃろうが。
赤犬か。こいつは面倒なやつに好かれちまったもんだ。おいルフィ、お前たちはさっさと逃げろ。
嫌だ。俺もエースと一緒に戦う。あいつには絶対エースを殺させね
え。昔から頑固だよなお前はよ。ならこいつら全員ぶっ飛ばして一緒に飯でも食いに行こうぜ。
おう。
こりゃ腕が鳴るぜ。大宴会エンテ
ー。God damn. That was insanely quick. But
もう弱かった頃の俺じゃねえ。修行の成果を見せてやる。
何を言うちょるかわからんがの。どちらにしろ貴様らはここでしまいじゃ。
いけるか。
九刀流アシュラ一流
こいつ強えな。
行くわ。これはどうかしら。
こいつ強えな。俺たちの力見せてやろうぜ。
よし、交代だ。モンスターポイント。
進化しやる。まとめてわし一人で十分じゃ。よし行くか。まずは飯だ。もう生きることは諦めんかいバカタレが。大噴火。
情けないとこ見せちまった。
ギアセカンドゴムゴムのジェットガザリング。
効かぬ。
手強いわね。みんな気をつけて。任せて。はっ、行くわよ。
俺だって強くなったんだ。こんな奴に負けねえぞ。
お前も俺の邪魔をするか。
大宴会エンテ
悪は根絶やしにせんとの。
甘いね。
いけるか。待ってろ、今行く。くらえ。
大噴火。やるな。九刀流アシュラ一部。
これは一筋縄ではいかなそう。オチエンタフルークロトワマーのショック。
進化しやる。
まとめてわし一人で流星火山。
いけるか。そこだ。
よし行くか。
これでどう。
俺ダメだ。熱いの苦手だ。
こりゃ腕が鳴るぜ。
悪は根絶やしにせんとの大噴火。
まったく。
よしもう生きることは諦めんかいバカタレが。
ぶっ飛ばしてやる。
水だ。
まだいっはっこれでどう。
俺ダメだ。暑いの苦手だ。これ食ってくれ。
こりゃ腕が鳴るぜ。
進化しやがれ。もう生きることは諦めんかいバカタレが。
待ってろ、今行く。
まとめてわし一人で渋滞噴火。
準備 OK だ。
行くぞトロ。
トラ
こくって
いっさやる。
今行く。
仲間の力を見せてやる。大丈夫、これでみんな直せる。
ありがとう。お前も俺の邪魔をするか。
進化しやがれ。もう生きることは諦めんか大噴火。
いけるか。待ってろ、今行く。邪魔だ。
まとめてわし一人で十分じゃ。行くぞトロ。
トラ
こくって
いっさやる。
こんなもの今行くわ。
ビビってなんかいねえぞ。モンスターポイント。
勝ったつもりか大噴火。
情けないとこ見せちまったな。待ってろ、今行く。
切りがいがありそうだ。刀のゴミにしてやる。
行くわよ。
俺だって強くなったんだ。
進化しやがれ。まだまだじゃ。
俺がこの
よし
進化しやがれ。
俺がぶっ飛べ。
まだじゃ。まだ終わらん。
エース、大丈夫か。お前に助けられる日が来るとはありがとうルフィ。調子がいいぞ。
力が戻ってきたな。
ここまで腕が上がるとは自分でも驚き。
海の一流コックは技も冴えてこそだ。
力が戻ってくるのがわかるわ。
今週の俺はスー
やったわね。 このメモリアでの目的は果たしたわ。もう大丈夫。みんなの力は戻るわ。
貴様ら兄弟は絶対に逃がさん。
エス。
このガキどもが。
ルフィ、エースは殺させね
どうしてキューブの様子がおかしい。
Right, of course, this again.
あの光をまとってる。
またあの光が。
余計なことは考えんな。ここを切り抜けることだけに集中しろ。
さっきよりも強くなってるのか。
そう考えて良さそうだな。
これもキューブの影響？でも考える暇はもらえなさそうね。
こいつ強えな。水だ。
ありがとう。
もう生きることは諦めんかい。バカタレが大噴火。
情けないとこ見せちまった
やらせねえ。すぐ行け。そこをどけ。
これを気を抜け任せて。これでどう？
言ってなんかいねえぞ。からくり玉だ。
進化しやるよ。
大噴火。
俺は諦めが悪いんだ。
もう生きることは諦めんかい。バカタレが。
きっちり型をつけるとするか。九刀流アシュラ一部銀。
オチエンタフルールクロトワマードショック。
モンスターポイント。
悪は根絶やしにせんとの。
いけるか。邪魔だ。
悪は根絶やしにせんとの。大噴火。
まずい。
きっちり型をつけるとするか。九刀流アシュラ一部銀。
私がやられるわけ。サンジ、これいただくわ。
怖くなんてねえ。
進化しやるよ。悪は根絶やしにせんとの。 星火山。これが徹底的な正義じゃ。
大宴会エンテ
小賢しい真似しくさって。
ルフィ、最後にお前を見られてよかった。ちゃんと助けてもらえなくてごめんな。
何しやがる。
飛行撤退だ。
ルフィ、
すまねえ。これ以上メモリアにいるのは危険だ。
Too dangerous or too dramatic?
踊りゃしぶといの。お前の方がしぶてえよ。映像やら
走らせた。死ぬんじゃねえ。みんなで戻るんだ。
リムはどこ？こっち。早く。ここよ。ここまで来て。リム。キューブが安定しないの。急いで。
Holy shit, that was close.
なんとか逃げられたな。
みんな無事でよかった。
そうだな。
リム、ありがとう。助かった。
別に大したことはしてないわ。まあでも無事でよかったわね、ルフィ。
みんな帰ろう。
しかしマジでヤバかったな。もうダメかと思ったぜ。
ロビンちゃんがとっさにみんなを繋いでくれなきゃ危なかったな。
賭けのようなものだったけど、なんとかなったわね。
ありがとな、ロビン。
Let's get the hell out of here. Cube has absorbed the strata path, strength returns. I can't believe I finished 2 chapters tonight.
激戦を乗り越え無事に帰還した麦わらの一味。満身創痍の彼らだったが、もう迷いはなかった。そして
最強の巨像が再び彼らの前に現れる。辞書集結麦わらの一味。
ルフィは私のことを友達って言ってくれたの。だから。
Chapter 6 clear. I'm calling the stream as soon as I can save. Chapter 7, Assemble Straw Hat Pirates.
ちゃんと力は戻ってるみたいだな。
ええ、なんとか乗り越えられたわね。
よーし、宴だー。スーパ
ルフィの周りにはいつも仲間がいるのね。私には仲間なんていないから羨ましく感じるわ。
なんだ、アディオは違うのか？
え？
アディオはお前の仲間だろ？
仲間？アディオが？わからないけど、もしそうなら嬉しい。
イム、少し顔色が悪いみたいね。大丈夫？
ええ。ごめんなさい。私は疲れたから休むわ。
You and me both, Lim. You and me both.
ははは。いよいよだぜ、リム。残るは炎の巨像のみだ。奴は一つの場所にとどまらず、侵入者の行動に応じて動き回る。俺たちは今どうすることもできないが、奴とは間もなく相まみえるだろう。俺のコテコテの準備も整っている。ははは。ワフルドの嵐を解き払うのも時間の問題だ。
アディオ、その炎の巨像だけど戦わずに倒せないかしら。
なぜだ？
あの巨像たちは学習能力を持っているの。ルフィたちと一度戦った以上、より強くなっているはずだわ。
ルフィたちが心配か？
ルフィは私のことを友達って言ってくれたの。だから。
安心しろ、リム。俺もルフィたちは大事だ。あんなに気持ちのいい奴らはそうはいないからな。
本当？
ああ。巨像との戦いで傷つけるつもりもない。勝てないと思えば逃げるだけさ。
ええ。
友達か。
減ったー。朝飯作ってくれ、サンジ。ありゃ、サンジがいねえ。
サンジならフランキーと一緒にアディオの小屋に行ったぞ。
よし、呼びに行くぞ。アディオの小屋だな。どうしたんだ、フランキー？
いや、コーラを作る材料を探してたらこいつを見つけてな。
なんだそのキノコ。でもあんまりうまそうじゃねえな。
ははは。毒はねえが確かにうまくもね
え。そういや、サンジはどこ行った？飯作ってもらおうと思ったのに。
このキノコを見た途端飛び出していっちまった。
採取した場所を聞いてたから、こいつの生えてる湖畔の洞窟に行ったんだろうよ。
よくわかんねえが面白そうだ。俺たちも行こう。
Sanji has left the party. Lakeshore Cave. Isn't that the first dungeon we ever went
あ
to?
の洞窟どこにあるんだっけ？
忘れたんならアディオに聞きゃいいんじゃねえか。すぐそこにいるんだしよ。
Alright, y'all. I'm going to stop the stream here. I cannot believe it, but we got chapters 5 and 6 done today. Holy shit. So thank you guys all so much for joining. If you like the stream, give me a follow here on Twitch. I am MugiwaraJM, all one word except for where I'm not, which would be Mugiwara_JM and MugiwaraJM on Facebook. And if you like the gaming content even further, check out Super Bonus Round, my Let's Play channel that I do with my friends, including with Rich, who was just here about half an hour ago. Probably longer than half an hour ago. We're currently going through Yakuza Like a Dragon, AI the Somnium Files. Sonic Forces ended yesterday, and the Final Fantasy VII Remake playthrough will be coming back, as well as some of the stuff we got going on down the line. We alluded to recording on Sunday, but it's because the Metal Gear Solid 3 playthrough is going to come back. Whenever one of these finish, it's probably going to be, honestly, Like a Dragon. Sounds like we're almost done with that soon, and they have the Somnium Files is the second one behind that. When one of those takes a break or finishes, Metal Gear will come back. All right, so thank you guys again so much for watching. Have a great rest of your night or day, depending on when we're watching this. And I will see you tomorrow for some more Fire Emblem Engage. Or if you're here for One Piece Odyssey, Monday. Oh, and speaking of One Piece, if Let's Plays are not your bag, Super Bonus Round is also where I host my Let's Play channel that I do with my Super Bonus Round co-host, Jack Peanut. I host a One Piece podcast on the same channel called Binging the Devil's Fruit. Where I take him through the entire One Piece manga, 5 to 6 chapters a week, depending on usually 6, like if we're really close to finishing an arc. But we're also reviewing the movies and specials too. In fact, we have a review of the pre-anime OVA Defeat Him, the Pirate Gonzak, going out this weekend. So check that out on either Super Bonus Round's YouTube channel or on Google Podcast, Apple Podcast, or Spotify. All right, thank you guys again so much for watching. I'm going to go pass out and sleep, and I'll see you guys tomorrow for Engage or Monday for more of this. The end is coming. I think we just have to fight another Colossus, go to another Memorial World, and then whatever the hell this final chapter is. All right, have a good one, y'all. Good night.